the Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Let's get into this next conversation, though. I want to talk about Turk. I got an article that I want to read for y'all of young Turk. He didn't show up to the Verzuz. He didn't show up to the Verzuz. Wayne didn't show up to the Verzuz. Let's play BG on the Breakfast Club. Where was Wayne at, dog?
Why wasn't Wayne there? That's the question everybody wants.
I talked to Wayne yesterday, man, and I talked to Wayne the morning before, right? You know what I mean? The morning before the Verzuz, and Shorty wasn't feeling good, man. You know what I mean? So because he had a concert at Dre's the same night, and he canceled that as well. You know what I mean? And Swiss was, even hurt behind it, right? You know what I mean? Because for real, that's the reason Swiss pulled the trigger on it. You know what I mean? Because Wayne, agreed,
I heard Wayne
right?
orchestrated the whole thing.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, come on. I mean, Shorty, you know what I'm saying? Like, Shorty, Shorty, he muscle, right? You know what I'm saying? He got muscle, right? So, but, yeah, man, I think it was, Shorty wasn't feeling good because he definitely was supposed to be there. You know what I mean? So, he told me that, he wasn't feeling good and, he had to go to the hospital or something like that. You know what I mean? So, people be thinking that it was, whatever. But at the end of the day, like I told him, man, we ain't spring chickens no more, man. You know what I mean? So, you got to make sure, man, your health and, you know what I'm saying, in order and, get your rest, man. You've been running 35 years strong.
That's true. You got to prioritize your health. Wayne is one of the biggest artists and one of the best artists that hip hop has ever seen. But, it would have been good for New Orleans to see the camaraderie, to see the unification of all of their greats together on stage. But I don't think nothing would have changed. I think Master P is the most dominant figure in hip hop culture in New Orleans. He may not be the most successful. He is nowhere near close as successful as Slim and Baby or Lil Wayne. He had his run, the 400 M's. When he was selling them CDs like Work, $20 a piece. But Young Money, Cash Money, they hit to another level. But I don't think nothing would have changed if Wayne was there at the Verzuz. I think No Limit still would have won the Verzuz. I hope Wayne get his health together because, it shows that his health is deteriorating by him balding in the front with his dreadlocks. He had a seizure a couple of years ago. I hope he's leaving that lean alone and all of that old type of stuff because he got to continue to create and release high quality music and set set people up for success, man. He's a figure and a staple in the culture that needs to be here to show people that you can age and continue to be great in the culture. That's what I like about Nas being present right now, is that he's 51 years old and he is highlighting other individuals and putting other individuals in position to be able to create music. I like that about what Nas is doing. And I think Lil Wayne can do that also. But, BG also said something when he was on TMZ as of recently about what has transpired from the Verzuz battle between No Limit and Cash Money. And, after that Verzuz battle, Master P went on platforms and talked. Silk the Shocker went on platforms and talked. BG, Juvenile. And I was just excited to see that because I feel like it was a dope thing. Because at one point in time in my life, I looked up to these brothers and, I collaborated with these brothers on records and, I'm just excited to see if they can further this and further the beneficial aspect of it.
Of course, about Verzuz.
Okay,
Do you plan on having any, promotional albums with you and some of the other members?
Oh man, you know, me and Mac got a record coming. You know what I'm saying? Me and Fiend just did a record together. Me and Mill got a record coming. Like
any albums together or just singles?
We got the tour coming. Cash Money No Limit.
Did you already say this, or is this an exclusive?
Oh, this is exclusive.
No
way. This exclusive.
So I have a question. Is there gonna be like another big powerhouse? Well, before it was No Limit and what? Not was it Swiss Beats? Yeah.
Like a Verzuz style.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Type
you
situation.
guys went on tour years ago, and it was.
Oh yeah, Cash Money Rough Riders. Yeah, facts,
right. So
facts,
can we see something, or like who, or is it just gonna be strictly?
It's gonna be Cash Money No Limit. It's gonna be Cash Money No Limit. But you liable to see Swiss pop out. You know what I'm saying? On a Cash Money set or something.
So Cash Money No Limit on tour.
Yeah.
That is
Cash
crazy.
Money No Limit on tour.
So we gotta ask you, right? Tell us about some of the, favorite moments from the Verzuz. I know you guys, Bling Bling. Mm-hmm. How did Bling Bling change your life? And you might have already spoke about this, but what about a trademark? Is there a trademark? And if there isn't, how much money are you missing out on?
Man, I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, I probably would never have to rap again if I would have trademarked that. You heard me? You know what I mean? But I was young. You know what I'm saying? We was young. We ain't understand, what it was gonna be. But, hey, man, it is what it is.
So you're owed millions. I mean, is it too late? I wonder if it's too late. You gotta get a
Salute to BG, man. He's still young, actually, and went to jail for 14 years. That's crazy. Louisiana is a place that I wouldn't want to live in based upon them crimes and stuff that goes on in Louisiana and how they treat individuals when they get locked up. You couldn't pay me to live in Louisiana. But I'm looking forward to seeing if these individuals can come together and create a camaraderie of New Orleans, Louisiana individuals. That's something that, the South gained its relevance from unification. When you think about the collaborations from the artists in Atlanta, the artists in Louisiana, the artists in Texas, featuring on each other's songs and all of that. That's what put the South on the map, and that's what made the South the most powerful region in the culture. The unification. So if Cash Money and No Limit can unify, I would be all for it. Real talk. Let me get into this Turk article because I haven't read this, but Hot New Hip Hop released this. This is according to Hot New Hip Hop. Turk hit with a $12 million lawsuit for allegedly sabotaging Cash Money tour. Somebody sent this to me and said, man, you got to read this, Trev, and put this on a platform, nigga. Let me see what Turk, I watched Turk talk a lot on Beehive TV in Atlanta. He got the Atlanta Falcons jersey on right now. And he, he talks a lot about BG and beef and things on that platform. And I just want to read this. Turk previously accused the Cash Money 30th anniversary tour agency and promoters of unrightfully booting him from the trek. Turk recently exchanged some disses with Birdman over the Cash Money and No Limit Verzuz, adding to long-standing label tension among the two. The Hot Boys and other Cash Money affiliates this developed into a full-on legal battle, according to an exclusive report from All Hip Hop's Grouchy Greg Watkins. Promotion and touring agency Dope Shows Inc. reportedly sued the Hot Boy for $12 million in federal court for allegedly sabotaging the Cash Money Millionaires' 30th anniversary tour. Turk previously sued promoters and agents for allegedly unlawfully booting him from the trek after promising him more money than they were willing to pay him at the end of the day. However, Dope Show's New York complaint on Wednesday accused him and his Y&T Empire company of breaching his contract and sabotaging the tour via his lawsuit. Defamation and threats to folks such as fellow Hot Boy BG. In addition, they also accused the New Orleans rapper of leaking confidential financial information, lying about them not being able to pay artists, and almost wrecking the trek. Desperate to revive his flagging rap career, Turk is attempting to sabotage the tour through childish and petulant antics that he hopes will regain the public's attention. Jeffrey M. Movitt reportedly wrote, legally representing dope shows, Turk's publicity stunts are an abject failure, as they have done nothing to advance his career. Rather, through his malicious and misguided actions, Turk has created nothing more than massive legal liability for himself in his lawsuit. I want to speak for a moment. You know, Turk, it comes a time in your life when, you know, a lot of people are going to disagree with me when I say this. But if you really are an artist and you like creating art and you like being with your brothers or whatever, you'll humble yourself. You'll create for free. You know, this thing we do call rap and call culture, we would do it for free. You know, nobody has to get over on you or whatever, though, but you don't have to handle the whole. You don't have to agree to it initially, then remove yourself from it when it doesn't suit you for what you're trying to do. I'm not going to read no more of that article. Y'all can go to people.com and go check it out for yourself. Or Hot New Hip Hop. Hot New Hip Hop is where it's at. People.com was no rap songs in the Billboard. But Hot New Hip Hop is where they talk about Turk hit with the $12 million lawsuit. I'm not going to read no more of that because I don't want to speak maliciously on Turk. I don't want to speak maliciously on the Hot Boys, BG, Lil Wayne, Juvenile, Birdman, Slim, Manny Fresh, none of them boys. But at the end of the day, don't wait till your partner dead, man, to resolve the issues with each other. Just don't wait till your partner's dead.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.